Welcome back to The Explainer. So let's dive straight into what's probably the single most misunderstood asset class in your entire portfolio. Today, we're stripping away all the boring jargon and uncovering the actual mechanics of how bonds truly work. Because let's be real, if you hold a massive chunk of your retirement in an instrument you can't confidently explain, you're basically leaving your financial future up to chance.
You know the saying, right? When interest rates go up, bond prices go down. You could probably recite it in your sleep, but if someone stopped you and asked you to explain why that happens, like mechanically with real numbers, could you do it? Most people just totally freeze. Well, today, we're going to mechanically break down exactly why this happens using actual math, so it stops being a rigid rule you just memorize and becomes something you instinctively understand. Here is our quick roadmap to completely demystifying bonds today. We'll hit 1. The Great Bond Confusion. 2. Anatomy of a Promise. 3. Why bond prices move. 4. 3 core risk factors. And finally, 5. Smart bond investing strategies. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. The Great Bond Confusion. We're going to start by looking at a huge pain point and why so many beginner investors got absolutely blindsided by heavy losses in 2022 with what they assumed was the safest part of their portfolio. Just look at these two totally different approaches. On the left, we've got Felix. He just blindly bought bonds because they had that safe label slapped on them. He owns the label, not the mechanism, and when 2022 hit, he was left completely panicking. And then, on the right, we have our benchmark, Priscilla. I mean, just look at her. She radiates this elegant professional confidence, right? An inspiring, successful Asian businesswoman standing in front of those modern financial charts. She represents true wealth and financial freedom because she views bonds as precise financial instruments. She navigates the market with total clarity. Today, we are building you up to Priscilla's level. Moving to Section 2, Anatomy of a Promise. To get that elite level of understanding, we first have to strip a bond right down to its absolute simplest form. You see, unlike stocks where you're constantly guessing future earnings or crossing your fingers for a breakout quarter, a bond is actually beautifully simple. It's really just a promise, a loan providing a specific contractual promise in exchange for your capital. There's zero uncertainty about what you are legally owed. Every single bond is built on these 3 unchangeable pillars. Number 1, the face value. That's the exact amount you get paid back when the loan ends, usually about $1,000. Number 2 is the coupon rate, which is the fixed interest you rake in along the way, say a steady 4%. And number 3, the maturity date. You know the exact day the ride is over.
So you might be wondering, if they're so incredibly predictable, how on earth did Felix lose 16% in 2022? Well, it all comes down to how we own them. Holding an individual bond to maturity, that basically guarantees your contract. You get your interest and you get your money back. But Felix bought a bond fund, and bond funds don't hold them to maturity for you. They are constantly trading them on the secondary market. That subjects you to the daily, sometimes brutal mark-to-market chaos of the trading floor.
Which brings us nicely to Section 3, Why Bond Prices Move. Let's actually look under the hood at why that secondary market resale price jumps around so much in the first place. Picture this. You bought a 10-year bond last year paying a sweet 4% coupon. You dropped $1,000 and you're feeling pretty good about it. But wait, suddenly the central bank aggressively hikes interest rates to fight off inflation. Now, brand new bonds hitting the market today are offering 6% for that exact same $1,000 investment. This table right here brilliantly shows the math behind that famous quote we started with. I mean, think about it. Put yourself in a buyer's shoes. No way is someone going to pay you a full $1,000 for your old bond throwing off $40 a year when they could grab a brand new one throwing off $60. They just wouldn't. For your old bond to even be sellable, your resale price literally has to drop. It falls down to roughly $850, because only at that discounted price does the effective yield of your old bond actually match the new 6% competition. It's exactly like a giant tug-of-war. That initial coupon rate is locked in stone on the day the bond is issued. It cannot change. So when the broader market interest rates start shifting around it, the resale price has to do all the heavy lifting. It has to give way. All right, Section 4, 3 core risk factors. Now that we understand the why, let's talk about the how much. What exactly dictates how violently those prices swing during that tug-of-war? The first, and honestly most massive factor, is duration. If you remember one math rule from this whole explainer, make it this. A bond's price moves approximately 1% for every 1% change in interest rates multiplied by its duration in years.
Just look at the stark difference here. If you hold a 2-year bond, your money is coming back really soon anyway, so a rate change barely leaves a scratch on the price. But a 30-year bond? You're locked into that fixed rate for 3 full decades. The cost of being wrong about future rates compounds drastically across all those years. This is exactly why so many super safe long-term government bonds got absolutely crushed in 2022.
Now, beyond duration, you've got to weigh 2 other distinct risks. First up is credit quality. Basically, the odds of the issuer just going belly up. Junk bonds have to pay you way more to compensate for that default risk compared to, say, a pristine AAA government bond. Then there's the silent killer, inflation. If your bond pays 3% but inflation is raging at 6%, you are literally losing purchasing power every day. That's where things like TIPS or inflation-protected bonds come in to naturally adjust your principal upwards.
And man, does this bust a huge myth about the classic 60-40 portfolio. Everyone just assumes bonds will magically act as a parachute when stocks fall. But bonds don't always provide that automatic diversification. In 2022, rapid interest rate shocks were the shared culprit, crushing both stocks and bonds simultaneously. That diversification magic really only works when economic weakness is the problem, not when rates are skyrocketing. Last up, Section 5, Smart Bond Investing Strategies. Let's see how our pro, Priscilla, takes all this mechanical knowledge and builds an absolutely premium, prosperous portfolio. Notice how Priscilla meticulously matches her bond duration directly to her time horizon. If she knows she needs cash in the next 1 to 3 years, it stays strictly in short-duration funds. She refuses to let short-term capital get whipped around by wild interest rate swings because taking a forced loss on a sale, that's not an option for her. This whole strategy is just a masterclass in intention. When she has a specific expense coming up, say exactly 7 years out, she buys an individual bond maturing on that exact date. She locks in the return and completely ignores the daily price drama. She's not asking bonds to make her wildly rich. She leverages them for what they're actually built for: predictable income and unshakable portfolio stability. So, ultimately, the difference between Felix's panic chaos and Priscilla's calm stability isn't luck and it isn't magic. It's entirely about knowing exactly what they own. Felix bought a label and freaked out. Priscilla, as this premium illustration perfectly captures, she's an elegant, highly trusted professional in total control. She bought a contractual promise, understood the mechanics, and achieved complete financial freedom. If you take absolutely nothing else away from this explainer, remember this. A bond is just a promise, and that promise never changes. The coupon, the face value, the maturity date, they all are locked in. Only the resale price shifts based on the world around it. If you buy an individual bond and just hold it to maturity, all those crazy interest rate headlines, it's just noise. Now that you guys have this rock-solid foundation of how bonds mechanically work, we are going to push it even further next time. We'll be tackling one of the most predictive, heavily debated questions in all of finance. What does an inverted yield curve actually tell us about the next recession? Make sure you stick around for that one. Hope this explainer gave you a fresh, empowering perspective on your portfolio. See you next time.
If to support the channel and subscribing with today. Thank you for being part of our community. See you in the next video.